Space was silent, but the silence felt dangerous. The stars looked cold and lifeless, like they knew something terrible was coming. And they were right. High above Earth, a massive battlefield waited in the dark. Shadows moved across the sky, giant alien warships slowly taking positions around the planet. These ships belonged to the Draxan Empire, a race feared in every star system. Wherever the Draxan went, planets died. Worlds burned. Civilizations vanished. Tonight they came for Earth. A repeating message echoed through every human communication channel. It played again and again, cold and emotionless. Humanity, surrender. You cannot win. People in every city heard it. Children cried. Families prayed. Soldiers tightened their grip on their weapons. Earth had seen wars before, but nothing like this. Nothing this big. Nothing this hopeless. Across the planet, defense alarms screamed. Missile bases opened. Jet fighters launched into the sky. Every nation prepared for the same nightmare, the biggest war in human history. But even with all their courage, humans knew they were facing a giant enemy. The Draxan Empire had destroyed hundreds of worlds. They never lost. And they never forgave. Human generals stood in their command rooms, staring at screens filled with red dots, enemy ships, everywhere. For the first time, fear entered their eyes. "This is it," one general whispered. "No turning back." The Draxan fleet moved closer. Their weapons lit up with red energy. The air around Earth began to vibrate. Then, something strange happened. As the Draxan fired their first laser volley, something impossible occurred. The lasers froze in the air, stopped completely, like time itself refused to move. "What is this?" a Draxan commander shouted. Their second attack failed too. Third attack. Every attack. Nothing worked. Their giant cannons shut down. Their engines flickered. Their shields collapsed. Inside the alien command ship, panic rose fast. "This is not human technology," a Draxan general cried. "This is something else." On Earth, human soldiers looked up at the sky, confused. The alien beams had stopped right above them, frozen like glowing statues in the air. "What happened?" one soldier asked. "No idea," another replied, "but something big is coming." Then it happened. A deep sound traveled through space, slow, heavy, and powerful. It was not like any normal engine. It felt ancient. It felt alive. Every alien ship shook. Every human felt the vibration move through their bones. The Draxan scanned the area but found nothing at first. Just empty space. But the sound grew louder. Closer. Stronger. Then the stars behind the Draxan fleet began to bend, like space itself was opening. Light twisted. Darkness tore apart. Alien eyes widened in fear. "What is that?" screamed an officer. The crack in space opened wider. And from inside that glowing tear, shapes began to appear. Huge shapes. Warships. But not any normal warships. These ships were unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. They were covered in shining blue light. Their hulls were made of unknown metal. Their engines glowed with pure white energy. The Draxan scanned them and their systems broke instantly. Every reading said the same thing. Unknown. Power level beyond limit. Human commanders stared in disbelief. "It can't be, they were only legends," whispered one old officer. But legends were real now. These ships belonged to the most mysterious force in human history, a fleet that had vanished 300 years ago without any trace. A fleet known only in ancient stories as the Masters of the Stars. The Draxan froze. For the first time ever, they felt fear. One human soldier on Earth whispered, Are they ours?" Yes, they were. They were human. But not like the humans of today. These were the humans who had traveled beyond the edge of the galaxy. Humans who had mastered star energy. Humans who had built technology other races could not even imagine. A voice finally came from the lead ship. It echoed across space with calm power. "Earth, we have returned." Every Draxan soldier felt their chest tighten. The galaxy had told stories about ancient humans, stories too strong to be true. But now those stories were real. Humans were not weak. Humans were not simple. Humans were not behind. They had been hiding, waiting, preparing. They were only sleeping. And now, they were awake. The Draxan Empire realized something terrible. They did not start a war with regular humans. They had awakened the true humans. The ones who mastered the stars. The ones who disappeared to build ultimate power. And now they were ready to defend their home. The battlefield went silent again. But this time, it was the silence before the storm. The galaxy had seen many powerful races. Some were old. Some were cruel. Some were wise. But none had ever seen what was now unfolding in front of the Draxan Empire. The space behind Earth glowed pure white. The returning human ships continued to appear, one after another, sliding out of the strange opening in space like giants waking from a long sleep. Millions across Earth watched the scene through screens and windows. Some cried. Some prayed. Some simply stared, unable to speak. For the first time since the invasion began, there was hope. But the question grew in everyone's mind. Where did these humans come from? Why did they vanish for 300 years? How did they return with such impossible power? The answer began a long time ago. Milky Way 300 years earlier. Humanity was different back then. Curious, fearless, hungry for the stars. By the year 2487, humans had already spread into nearby star systems. They built colonies on moons, planets, and giant space habitats. They discovered rare minerals, new life forms, and strange cosmic events. But one discovery changed everything. Human explorers found a strange region in space, an area where time moved differently. It was a hidden pocket of the universe, a place untouched by the rest of reality. Scientists called it the silent dimension. Inside this dimension, physics did not follow normal rules. Energy behaved in strange ways. Matter twisted and changed. Space bent easily. Some feared it. Some wanted to study it. But a rare group of humans saw potential. These humans were not politicians or soldiers. They were explorers, engineers, dreamers, people who wanted to go beyond limits. They formed a secret project named Project Starforge. Their goal was simple but impossible. Use the silent dimension to build the greatest human fleet ever created. A fleet so strong it could defend Earth against any threat, even threats no one had seen yet. They believed humanity would face darkness one day. They prepared for that future. Milky Way entering the silent dimension. The project leaders knew the risks. Once they entered the silent dimension, they might never return. Communication would break. Time could flow differently. But they went anyway. Thousands of the best engineers, pilots, scientists, and strategists boarded 73 giant ships. Each ship carried massive amounts of metal, machines, AI cores, and supplies. And then they disappeared into the silent dimension. And the door closed behind them. On Earth, people waited for news. Days passed. Weeks. Months. But the fleet never came back. Governments declared them lost. Some called them dead. Some called them foolish. But a few believed they succeeded. They believed the fleet was still out there, waiting. These few wrote stories and legends about them. Stories about humans who became more than human. They called them the Masters of the Stars. Milky Way inside the silent dimension. Time inside the silent dimension was strange. 1 year could feel like 1,000, or 1,000 could feel like one. The Starforge humans worked day and night. They discovered new elements that could not exist in normal space. They created fusion cores that used star energy. They learned to control gravity. They built weapons that could bend space itself. Every ship was rebuilt from scratch. Stronger, faster, smarter. They created ships bigger than mountains with engines brighter than suns. Their hulls were made of star metal, metal formed inside collapsed stars. And most important of all, they created a technology called the star core. A star core allowed a ship to use the energy of a dying star. It was pure, unstoppable power. No alien race in the known galaxy had anything close to this. The humans inside the silent dimension slowly transformed. Their minds expanded with new knowledge. Their bodies adapted to strange energy. Their technology evolved beyond imagination. They were no longer ordinary humans. They were something more. Milky Way, a message from the future. Centuries passed inside the silent dimension. But only a few decades passed outside. One day the humans inside received a signal. Weak, broken, filled with fear. A message from Earth. Humanity, surrender. You cannot win. The Draxan Empire had attacked. The ones inside the silent dimension felt cold anger. They left Earth to protect it. They built everything for this purpose. Now their home was burning. In that moment, the ancient humans made their decision. It was time to return. Time to defend Earth. Time to show the galaxy what true humans could do. The Starforge opened the rift. Their fleet moved out like a storm of light and steel. And now here they were, finally back. Milky Way present time, the Draxans' fear. The Draxan commanders watched in horror as the ancient human fleet formed a massive wall of glowing ships behind Earth. Their scanners failed. Their systems glitched. Their energy readings were off the charts. One Draxan officer whispered, Those cannot be humans. But they were. Humans who had evolved. Humans who had mastered the silent dimension. Humans who returned as giants. Milky Way, the final line of the part. The galaxy thought Earth was weak. The Draxan believed humanity was ready to fall. But now the truth stood before them. The humans had not vanished. They had not died. They had risen. And now, they were back as the masters of the stars. The Draxan Empire had fought many enemies in the galaxy. They had crushed strong planets. They had burned huge cities. They had destroyed entire species without hesitation. The Draxan believed they were unbeatable. But now, their belief was breaking. The space around Earth was no longer dark. It was filled with the glowing blue light of the returning human fleet, the ancient fleet that had vanished centuries ago. The masters of the stars. The Draxan commander, Lord Kirix, stood inside the main control room of the largest enemy ship. The lights flickered. The screens glitched. The scanners failed again and again. Nothing worked properly. His soldiers tried to look confident, but fear was rising in their eyes. "Report," Kirix growled. A young Draxan officer spoke with a shaking voice. "Yes, sir. The human ships are emitting energy waves we cannot identify. Our systems cannot measure them. All scanners are blind." Kirix clenched his claws. "How can a machine be blind? Fix it." The young officer swallowed nervously. "We tried, sir. The energy from those ships is too powerful. It is shutting down everything." Kirix turned slowly toward the large window. Outside he saw the full human fleet in formation. Dozens, hundreds, maybe thousands of starships. Each one glowing like a small sun. They weren't just ships. They looked like living stars. Milky Way, the panic begins. In the lower decks of the Draxan flagship, soldiers were whispering. "Is this truly human technology? No, no human can have this power. We were told humans were weak. Primitive. If these are humans, then we are already dead." Fear spread through the ship like fire. Even the elite Draxan warriors, known for being heartless and cold, felt their hands trembling. One soldier kept staring at a frozen screen showing the human flagship. He whispered, "It looks like it's watching us." His friend shook his head. "No ship watches. But that one feels alive." Milky Way, the first attack fails. Desperate, the Draxan fired another volley of heavy lasers. The beam shot out fast, brilliant red lines, cutting through the darkness, aimed directly at the lead human ship. But once again the impossible happened. The lasers stopped midway. They froze, suspended in the air like red crystals. Not moving, not fading, just stuck. Kirix stared, stunned. "What technology is this?" he whispered. A senior officer tried to speak confidently. "Commander, perhaps a shield? A barrier?" Kirix shook his head. "No, this is not a shield. This is control over physics itself." The room fell silent. The Draxan were used to breaking enemies, not understanding them. But now they could not even understand what was stopping their weapons. Milky Way human power revealed. Suddenly, a deep humming sound filled space again. It was the same ancient sound that had announced the return of the lost human fleet. The Draxan fleet turned their cameras toward the source. A single human ship, only one, moved forward. It was smaller than the massive Draxan warships. But it radiated power like a newborn star. Kirix barked an order. "All ships target that one vessel. Destroy it before it gets close." Hundreds of Draxan weapons activated. But before they could fire, a strange wave of light came from the human ship. Not a beam. Not a missile. Just light. Soft, silent, calm. But the moment it touched the alien ships, chaos exploded. Panels broke. Engines cracked. Screens turned black. Dozens of Draxan ships shut down instantly, drifting lifelessly in space. "No, no. And no," a Draxan captain screamed. What kind of attack was that? Kirix's heart pounded. He knew now, this was not a fight. This was a slaughter. Milky Way, a warning from the humans. Then a voice echoed across all frequencies. Every ship, every channel, every speaker played the same message. It was the voice of the ancient human commander. "Come. Controlled. Draxan Empire," the voice said. "You have attacked our home. You have threatened our people. Now you will face a power you never believed existed." Kirix stepped back. This voice, this tone, it was not angry. It was not emotional. It was simply stating fact. The truth. "We are the first humans," the voice continued. "We are the ones who mastered the stars. You wanted war with humanity. Silence. Then. Now you will meet the humans who do not lose." A chill went through every Draxan in the fleet. Milky Way galaxy-wide shock. Across the galaxy, Thousands of races were watching the battle through long-range sensors. Reports spread instantly. Earth has awakened something ancient. Humans have star-core ships. The Draxan Empire is losing. In distant star systems, old leaders whispered fears they never had before. If these humans rise fully, none of us can stop them. Milky Way Draxan morale breaks. Inside the Draxan flagship, soldiers began shouting. Retreat. We cannot fight them. This is suicide. They are monsters. But Kirix roared. Silence. We do not retreat. We are Draxan. Yet even he felt his courage fading. His eyes kept returning to the human fleet. So calm. So quiet. So confident. Like they already knew the battle was over. Like they did not see the Draxan as enemies, but as insects. Milky Way the final fear. The human fleet began to spread out. Slowly. Smoothly. As if they were surrounding prey. The Draxan ships tried to reposition, but their engines glitched again. This is hopeless, whispered the senior officer. We cannot beat them. We cannot even understand them. Kirix closed his eyes. For the first time in his life, he felt fear. Not fear of death. Not fear of losing. But fear of humans. Humans who had become something else. Humans who had mastered the deepest laws of the universe. Humans who had returned with power beyond imagination. The masters of the stars. The sky above Earth glowed with blue and white light as the ancient human fleet spread across the battlefield. Every ship moved with perfect control, smooth, silent, and deadly. They did not rush. They did not panic. They did not fear. It was the Draxan Empire that feared now. Inside the main human flagship, the ancient commander stood tall. His uniform was simple, silver and black. His eyes glowed faintly from exposure to the silent dimension. He looked human, but also beyond human. He spoke calmly to his officers. First priority, protect Earth. Second, neutralize all hostile forces with minimum damage. Third, send a message to the galaxy. The officers nodded. Their faces showed no fear. They had lived in the silent dimension for centuries. They had fought storms inside collapsing stars. They had seen reality twist into impossible shapes. The Draxan were dangerous, but they were not the worst thing these humans had faced. Globe showing Europe, Africa, Earth holds its breath. Down below, on the surface of Earth, people gathered in streets and rooftops. Millions stared upward, watching the glowing ships that now defended the planet. A small boy in London whispered, "Mom, are those angels?" His mother held him tight. "No, sweetie. They're humans. Humans who came home." In Pakistan, in Brazil, in Egypt, in the United States, everywhere, people watched the sky with a single shared feeling. Hope. For the first time, Earth knew it was not helpless. Milky Way the Draxan tried to fight back. In the Draxan flagship, Commander Kirix gritted his teeth. All ships, attack again. Aim at their engines. 100 Draxan ships powered up. Their cannons glowed violently. Their missiles locked targets. This time the attack did fire. A massive wave of red lights shot toward the human fleet. But before the weapons reached the humans, the ancient fleet activated a defense technology never seen before. A shimmering sphere of blue light expanded outward, like a giant umbrella made of pure energy. The Draxan weapons entered the sphere. And vanished. Not exploded. Not deflected. Just gone. As if they never existed. Kirix froze. His officers stared in horror. What is that?" one whispered. An older Draxan scientist whispered the answer. "A phase-bend shield. But that is impossible. No one can control space like that." But the humans could. And they did. Milky Way humanity strikes back. The ancient human commander raised his hand. "Begin countermeasures. Do not destroy them. Disable them." At once the human fleet moved. It was beautiful. Like a dance of stars. Dozens of ships glided forward, leaving trails of shining blue behind them. They did not fire lasers. They did not launch missiles. Instead, each ship released small glowing orbs, light spheres that floated gently through space. They looked harmless. The Draxan laughed for a moment. That is their attack. Glowing bubbles? But when the orbs touched a Draxan ship, everything changed. The ship shut down instantly. Lights off. Weapons off. Engines dead. Gravity failing. Inside, Draxan soldiers screamed as their ship drifted out of formation like a dead rock. What is happening? Power is gone. We cannot move. We are helpless. One by one, the orbs spread across the battlefield. Wherever they touched, the Draxan ships fell silent. It was not destruction. It was worse. powerlessness. The Draxan Empire, known for cruelty, violence, and domination, was now being shut down like cheap machines. Milky Way, the human message. The ancient human commander opened a channel. His voice echoed across every enemy ship. Draxan Empire, he said softly. You came to Earth expecting fear. You came expecting weakness. You expected surrender. He paused. You were wrong. Every Draxan soldier trembled. You attacked our home. You threatened our people. But humans do not break. Humans do not bow. Humans rise. On Earth, people felt chills run through their bodies. This was not just war. This was history being written. Milky Way, the human ground forces prepare. While the fleet disabled enemy ships in space, the ancient human military prepared to protect the planet itself. In secret bases hidden deep under mountains, human ground units powered up, new types of soldiers in advanced exosuits. They were part machine, part armor, part energy. Their suits glowed with the same blue light as the Star Corps ships. One soldier said quietly, "It has been 3 centuries. Earth has changed, but it is still home." Another smiled. "Then let us defend it." Milky Way Draxan pride breaks. Commander Kirix slammed his fist into the control table. "No more. I refuse to lose to humans." But his voice was shaking. His eyes were wide. His claws trembled. "Commander," one officer whispered, "we cannot even target them. Their technology is too advanced." Another added, "We cannot run. Our engines are failing." A third said softly, "We never should have come here." Kirix looked out at the human fleet, and for the first time in his life he felt small, insignificant, powerless. Milky Way, humanity's mercy. The human commander spoke again. "We will give you one chance to leave. Take your wounded, take your broken ships, and go." The Draxan officers looked at one another. Mercy? From humans? Kirix could barely speak. You are sparing us?" The human commander replied. "We are humans. We defend. We do not destroy without reason." Kirix lowered his head. He felt something new. Not anger. Not hatred. Shame. Milky Way, the final line of the part. The Draxan thought humans were weak. They thought Earth was an easy target. They thought they could crush the species they once ignored. But they were wrong. Now the galaxy would learn the truth. Humans were not prey. Humans were not victims. Humans were protectors. And when provoked, humans strike back with the power of the stars. Lien watches the alien fleet coming closer. The sky becomes full of giant ships, cold metal, sharp lights, thousands of weapons ready to fire. Every human on Earth feels the same fear. The enemy is powerful. The enemy is old. But this time, humanity is not weak. For the first time in years, Earth's hidden defense systems turn on. Mountains open like giant steel doors. Old space stations activate and come back online. Deep underground, massive reactors glow with blue energy. The aliens do not understand. They think humans are finished. They think Earth is dying. They think this is an easy victory. But they are wrong. Humanity has built something in secret. Something only a desperate species can build. Something born from pain, loss, and survival. Lien sends one final message. You wanted war with humanity, now you will see what humanity truly is. And then, every human ship launches at once. They are not huge like the alien ships. They are not old war machines. They are fast, sharp, burning with new technology. They move like light. They strike like thunder. The first alien warship tries to fire, but a human fighter cuts through its shields like paper. The second ship tries to retreat, but a human drone attaches to its hull and explodes with bright white energy. Within seconds, the battle changes. The aliens expected fear. They expected surrender. Instead, they face something terrifying. Humanity fighting for survival. Humanity fighting as one. Humanity fighting with everything they have left. The battlefield becomes a storm of explosions, light, and shockwaves. Earth shakes. Space burns. And then, the first alien commander realizes the truth. Humans are not prey. Humans are predators. And they have just begun to fight back. The enemy screams for reinforcements. But it is too late. Humanity is now awake. Humanity is now rising. The masters of the stars have returned. The battle grows bigger. Explosions flash across the sky like burning suns. Alien ships fall toward Earth like broken stars. Human fighters move so fast that even advanced alien sensors cannot track them. But this is only the beginning. High above the battlefield, a giant alien command ship appears. It is 10 times larger than any other ship, dark, silent, shaped like a floating fortress. Its arrival makes the sky shake. Its shadow covers half the clouds. Every alien soldier cheers. Every human pilot feels pressure in their chest. This is the ship that destroyed 3 planets. This is the ship that leads the enemy empire. This is the ship that came to finish humanity. Inside, the alien Supreme Commander watches the battle. He is calm. He believes humans cannot win. He presses one button. A massive energy beam charges. A sound spreads across the sky, deep, slow, terrifying. The beam is powerful enough to burn a whole continent. Lien sees it. People on Earth see it. Everyone goes silent. The commander says coldly, "End them." The beam fires. A line of white-blue energy shoots toward Earth with impossible speed. But something happens. Something the aliens never expected. A human shield system activates, one never used before, one created in secret. A gigantic energy barrier rises from the Earth like a glowing dome. The alien beam hits it. The world waits for destruction. But the barrier holds. It cracks. It burns. But it holds. For the first time, the alien commander looks afraid. Humanity just survived a weapon that should have destroyed everything. In that moment, Lien gives the new command to all human forces. Strike the command ship. Human ships break formation and fly upward, thousands of them, glowing like small stars. They move together like a single wave. They dodge alien fire. They cut through enemy lines. The alien fortress begins shaking as human attacks land. Its armor breaks. Its shields flicker. Smoke rises from its engines. The alien commander watches in shock. Humans are pushing back. Humans are winning. He shouts orders in panic. But his fleet is already collapsing. Human drones swarm the ship's surface. Human fighters blast its weak points. And the fortress begins to fall slowly toward the atmosphere. The sky turns bright orange as the massive ship starts burning. For the first time in the entire war, hope returns. Humanity sees it. The world sees it. Even the aliens see it. The masters of the stars are not just surviving. They are taking control of the war. The burning alien command ship falls through the clouds like a dying sun. Every sensor on Earth shows the same thing. The Draxan Empire is breaking. Human ships surround the falling fortress, not giving it a chance to escape. The sky glows with fire and metal. The final battle has begun. Inside the human control center, Lien stands in front of the main screen. Sweat on her face. Eyes sharp. Heart strong. She whispers, "Humanity, this is our moment." All across the world, every city, every bunker, every soldier, waits for the final result. The command ship's last stand. Inside the alien fortress, alarms scream. The Supreme Commander looks around in panic. His officers run from station to station. Fires burn behind them. "Impossible," he yells. "These humans were weak. These humans were nothing." But he is wrong. Humanity was never weak. Humanity was never nothing. They only needed a reason to rise. Human strike teams land on the fortress hull. Their boots magnetize on the metal surface. Explosions follow them. Drones zip through every open corridor. The aliens cannot stop them. The ship shakes again, another section gone. "Retreat!" alien captains shout. But there is nowhere left to run. The human flagship arrives. A new shadow appears in the sky. Bigger than the alien command ship. Older than any human vessel. A legend reborn. The human flagship, Starlight Sovereign. The largest ship ever made by humanity. Gone for centuries. But now awake again. Its engines hum with ancient power. Its cannons glow like small suns. Every alien ship freezes upon seeing it. The universe had forgotten this monster of human engineering. But now the galaxy remembers. Human soldiers cheer. Even wounded pilots sit up in their seats. Because the Sovereign means one thing. The masters of the stars are fully awake. The final shot. The Sovereign charges its main cannon. A weapon that can split a moon. Space goes silent. Light gathers at the ship's core. The cannon glows brighter, brighter, brighter. The Supreme Commander sees it. His eyes widen. No, no. They cannot have this power. But humans do. Lien gives the final command. Fire. The sky turns white. The beam cuts through the alien fortress like it's paper. A single shot. A perfect shot. The command ship explodes. Light, fire, metal, silence. Pieces of the Draxan flagship fall into the ocean, burning like meteors. The war is over. The message to the galaxy. Every alien ship still alive receives a final transmission. A calm human voice speaks. You wanted war with humanity. Now witness what we truly are. We protect our world. We protect our people. We do not kneel. We do not break. We do not surrender. Another voice joins, older, deeper, the voice of the awakened masters. If you attack Earth again, you will face the masters of the stars. Across the galaxy, alien empires go silent. No one speaks. No one threatens. Because they have seen what humans can do when pushed too far. The last scene. Earth's skies clear. People come out of bunkers. Children run. Families hug. Cities celebrate. Human ships return to orbit, forming a shining ring around the planet, a protective shield made of courage. Lien watches the sunrise from space. For the first time she smiles. Humans are no longer the hunted. They are no longer the weak ones. They are something much more. The masters of the stars.